Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome to the Content Modeling Show here on Twitch. This is my first episode, and the goal of the show is going to be to basically practice content modeling. I love doing content modeling all the time. I work with clients, I work in my company full time, and I want to show you how to create content models and structured content models out of anything, any kind of website or anything in the world, really. We'll put a variety of content models together live, and I'll take your questions if there's any, and I'll try to answer them as well. And then we'll go ahead and take those content models and we'll go ahead and put them into the Headless CMS. I work with Contentful most of the time, but we'll be able to try out a variety of other headless CMSs to see how different headless CMSs implement content types in their system itself. So today, the first episode, I wanted to talk about content types and components and the difference between them. My tool of choice for doing any kind of content modeling is Miro. So you can see here we are in Miro. And I'm going to go ahead and open this up here a little bit more. Now, real quick on the show itself, the show is going to be Monday through Friday. Of course, starting at today, a little bit late in the week, but it'll be Monday through Friday, 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm in Southern California, so Pacific Standard Time will be 4:30 to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, and we'll do it for half an hour. Anyway, so today we're going to talk about components and content types and what are the differences, because there are differences, and I'll go ahead and model some so you can see what those differences are. But I wanted to show you my template that I came up with that basically I use to model anything. On the left, you're going to find project information, like the name, the description, when it was created, and when it was updated. Then I use purple and red, depending if it's a content type or a component. And then there's also relationships between content types and components, right? So I dictate what those relationships are, and I'll explain what single repeatable is. Also, in content type cardinality relationship, I will explain. Many of you may know already the zero to many, one to many, so on and so forth. I use most headless CMSs have four types of fields. They're either going to be a regular field, which is basically any kind of field, like a short text, long text, binary, or Boolean. It could be a number, it could be an integer, it doesn't matter. Different CMSs call their types differently, but at the end of the day, they're just regular fields. They will have a special type of field called the media field, which basically is a field that allows you to access the assets in the CMS itself. So that's usually going to be a very specialized field. Then there's the reference field, and that's where you create a field that references a different content type. And then almost all of them will have system fields, and they're built into the actual content type. Every content type will have whatever system fields they add themselves. So, for example, it could be the ID, who created it, when it was created, who updated it, if it's published, so on and so forth. There's many types of system fields. As we scroll down, you can see here field attribute. For each field, as we create a content model in this episode and in future episodes, once we get beyond just detailing the model in general, we'll get into the real details of, for this field, is it a required field? Is it a unique field? We want it to be localized. That's really important nowadays. If there's going to be some values, do we want to limit the values, and what is the list of those values? And then, of course, the T is for what type of field this is. Is it a short text, long text? And then here, if I can spell this correctly, tasks, that's what I meant to do. What we're going to have here is the actual tasks of what we want to accomplish in this particular content model. And then here, the questions for the model is, once we have the model, we would query it just like you would with code. So we'd ask, hey, can I get all the users that belong to this city, as an example, right? So you write all the questions here that you want to query to make sure that your model will support all the queries you will need for your application or website. Okay, so with that said, and I'm looking, and it looks like the cursor is not displaying.